as we know, unfortunately, we lost Kyle Busch this week, and very similarly to what we did for Greg when we lost him, we will watch the first 18 laps in silence here today, only hearing the cars. Now everybody just has to behave, and we'll make it through those 18 laps incident-free. I'm a little bit worried about the field being this tightly packed together after we saw a couple weird things in qualifying. Red Wings and myself lead the Coca-Cola 600 field to green. the start of the Coca-Cola 600 has already seen its first problem. Now, I didn't see it. Evo apparently did, but I did not catch what actually happened to the 00 of Smee, but he had to come down pit road. Lost 3 laps in the process. So, no good. Car showing some decent speed, too. As soon as the leaders caught him on his way out of the pit lane, he really hasn't lost any ground. I did see him on the apron at one point, but other than that, no issues. Smee will get passed by Travis Pastrana. 00 is the only car that is 1 lap down. And we just cannot avoid, apparently, Hailie Deegan at the front of the field. On the bright side, this is a very, very long race. And it's tough to imagine that she's going to stay here the whole time. But 21 laps in, she had a good qualifying effort. Made her way past our leaders. Pastrana dropping to the bottom. I don't think he would be coming to pit road right now. Yeah, these cars are not getting around here very well. Especially the ones back in the pack. It's a bit ugly at times back there. And look at this cluster. Looks like we're racing at Atlanta. What the fuck is this? No separation at all between any of these cars in the back of the field. This is gross. This is junk. 56 was out of shape up near the outside wall in the exit of turn number 2. Up to the front. W. Wright trying to get something done is Wright solidly into second place. Deegan with only a half a second lead. So it's not like she's pulling away. And now Wright will set his sights on the leader. And closing in with pretty decent speed as well. Your Pulsar at Red Wings hasn't lost too much ground, only back to 4th, a second and a half off of Hailie Deegan. She got out of turn 4 real good right there. Yeah, it is. Oddly enough, I mean, you do have Red Wings, you do have Miss Airy, you got Pat, you got Squid up there in the top, so it's not like Chad is just a no-show to start this race. But they are not holding much of a candle to, that's the saying, right? Much of a flame to these real drivers. If you can call L.W. Wright, of course, a real driver. "25 laps in, 4 stages, so extra stage points up for grabs here today. 100 laps per stage. Plenty of time to make some moves, plenty of time for bad things to happen to you here at the Coca-Cola 600. And yet somehow, between the very start of that to the end of the Indianapolis 500, and I mean counting the first attempt and all, I do wonder if this race might somehow go by quicker. L.W. Wright, first one to be able to do it. To the inside of Deegan, looking for the lead, coming to the line this time. I think Deegan is going to hold him off, and she does. To lead lap 26. But Wright on the inside here, that's going to be helpful to Pastrana. If he can just clear Smee, I mean, he's just toying around with him back there. Smee being the nuisance that he is. Deegan held off the position from L.W. Wright for the time being. Well, let's check in on, I suppose we'll go just to the back of the field here and then just highlight all the different schemes that we've got out here today. No change for Timo Quinton outside of the name banner. Everyone has the Coca-Cola 600 name banner style out here today. Brayton Lester, new scheme for him. Red, white, and blue, a little bit. Buddy's Pizza, Detroit-style pizza, if you want to call it that. I am not of the belief that sauce goes on top of Detroit-style pizza. Brayton Laster in his first Coca-Cola 600. Fresh scheme for Lucas, at least the debut of this. The blackout scheme. Laster moves in on him. That's your Atlanta winner in the 10 car. Move up to El Jefe, and you gotta feel bad for him. I mean, I know we wouldn't have gotten to see it, but up front, dominated the last half of the Indianapolis 500, but just didn't have the strategy right to be able to win that race. Evo in the 24. Would you believe it or not, he's won here. But that was in Mazdas in the season finale in the race that did not matter. 24 going to need to find some speed to get its first points win today, and a special scheme on the 56 as well. We move it up to John Force. Red, white, and blue are the stripes today for the 16. Ken Schrader, no change for him. TBNR Cars, your Indianapolis 500 winner. Very subtle special scheme for the 89 here today. For Caleb, well, he's going to pass Ash here for the moment. So we'll obviously point out the rowdy scheme, threw together real quickly. But that's what you get when you ask me for simple schemes. I can do them fast. But rest in peace to Kyle Busch. As we move even further up, we will touch on the 35. No changes outside of Sparty with an American flag on the hood for the 35 for this race. You can't really tell, but that is a blue scheme, as Austin will pass Jordo, and another special scheme of ours for this race, the 14 of D. Kuzmic. But that car is blue. It's not the same Callaway car that Austin ran all the way back at the Bud Shootout. It is different, believe it or not. Dale Earnhardt Jr. almost won the Coca-Cola 600, ran out of gas. The final corner was not able to... Oh, do we have problems here? TBNR Cars to the pit lane, and yes, your Indianapolis 500 winner has hit something relatively hard. Can't see from that angle. Can't see from any of those angles, but yes, he did hit something. So some early trouble if we are to have anybody possibly win both races here today. Haley Deegan continues to lead. We'll go back to our through the field. Left off kind of mid-pack. Let's touch on $sign in the 32 as the 19 is making moves up the field right now. This car has been in every race this year, has not scored even as many points as a race win would give you. 48 points, I believe, is the total on the year for the 32. That is how bad the luck has been. Mid-pack here would easily be the best finish for that car. Then there's me, still rocking the Ghost sponsorship. Rocking America Pop today. I have one in the fridge. I should open it, and I should be a good partner to my sponsor. Tony Kanaan didn't have a very good Indianapolis 500. Neither did Gundy in the 28. Neither did Squid, really, if we want to talk about that. But just the subtle change on the 28 in terms of the speed, or in terms of the paint scheme, rather. TJ, a little bit of a special look for the Sheets 45. Blue instead of gray. No changes on Oraman or Miss Airy. Miss Airy, of course, not carrying the USA flag on the RFK decals like her teammates are because, well, she's not from the U.S., so I don't want to do that to her. Some of us that are from the U.S. hardly want to rock patriotic schemes in this race. Whopper, 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 whopper. Whopper for Joe Nemechek. TBNR Cars wins. What do we do? I don't know. Sterling Marlin getting passed by Pat. I don't know if there's a good way to really try and take a look at the banner on the front of Pat's. He wanted us to showcase it. Private McClouse apparently is Pat's dad. So there's that. Oh, and we didn't take a look. I guess we'll go to do that for Ash's scheme too. I don't remember. I think it was Sarah Beckstrom was her name. But there's your special banners. Not too many for this race. I didn't really ask anybody ahead of time and just kind of was a last minute thing just because Ash had asked about it. So don't feel bad if you don't have one. It's kind of mean. But anyway, Red Wings in the 71. Obviously, we've already seen a good chunk of this car. Pole sitter, looking for his first NASCAR Chat Series win. No changes to Travis Pastrana's car today. But it's patriotic enough on its own for the 67. Good run early on for the 33 of Frankie Muniz. Duel at Daytona winner to make the NASCAR Chat Series field. Haley Deegan, two-time winner already this year. And while we were doing that, the 34 of L.W. Wright has taken the lead here at Charlotte, 41 laps into the Coca-Cola 600. I'll tell you what, my car has qualifying speed, but not much else as I'm looking to repeat as the winner of the Coca-Cola 600. Started second, am now back to 14th. Lost 12 places from the start of this race. Sinking like a rock out here. Front of the field, L.W. Wright continues to lead from Haley Deegan and even stretching this lead out a good bit. Might be some of the first pits all year that we've seen the 34 out in front. I think just about everybody's led a lap this year, but man, some of them are few and far between, and it was like 1 lap or 2 laps at Daytona, Talladega, something like that. So hey, credit to LW, he's finally putting it together. The top 5 cars on track are real drivers. The first chatter is Red Wings in 6th. Pat holding on strong in 8th. Miss Airing 9th. Or a man chilling in 10th. For so far, caution-free Coca-Cola 600. You could, you know, for as rough a luck as you've had, the points situation could be a lot worse. Have at least had a good couple finishes. But yeah, the stage points are rough. And will it be the day for, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? All the way back in 25th. The only car to have not scored stage points yet this year, which, what, 4 points paying races in? Seems absurd that he hasn't managed to find himself in the top 10 once at the end of these stages. Improbable and miraculous and unfortunate for the 5. It's his teammate in the 24, sitting right in behind in 26, which is 5 places up from where that car started. We'll be terrified to put the camera on Evo's car after what just happened at Indy all day, although I don't think that had anything to do with it. We're all just a little stitious, if you will. Now, I'm using a different camera pack than I usually do. It's actually a paid one for once. What does fan cam do? Oh, okay, so it's just a spectator view. Not bad. Oh, but it doesn't switch like it did at Indy. Well, there's Evo all the way over there. We also have wall cams that could be fun. That's not a wall. This is. Hopefully this is a cool one. Flag stand. That's not a flag stand cam. I can see the flag stand. What the hell? And then we do also, for whatever reason, have Skycam, which is just this. So, no reason to ever be here. Well, with all this green flag running, even though we have had the couple incidents with Smee and TB in our cars, we don't know yet just how long a fuel run is going to be here. I would assume we're getting near it, but it's hard to tell at the moment. Battle for second is underway. Haley Deegan, Frankie Muniz. 62 laps? Could be. I would assume somewhere near 60. Man, with as spread out as the field is right now, and the no stage breaks or anything. I wonder when our first yellow might show up. So for the leader in LW Wright, how close is he? Oh, I guess not really all that close. That was a pretty good indication. How close is he to lapping Timo Quinton? Timo just crossed the start-finish line, so maybe a third of a lap in front. And the 47 is just way off the pace compared to everybody else. 20 seconds off and losing ground to the pack quickly. Wow. For a little bit of a speed comparison, we're on board with Timo here. And then just, I'm sure the tone of the engine is going to change dramatically when we swap over to our leader, LW Wright. And yeah, it just sounds faster. Wright has built a just over a second lead over Deegan and Muniz. Pastrana losing ground. And really, if you, again, you want to think about it with the speed of the 00 car, he really hasn't lost much ground to Haley Deegan. So I wonder if that car was fast, found its way into some early trouble, and now just has to sit and contemplate how to get out of this. But then again, it's Smee. We don't necessarily care. He didn't win the Indy 500 this year. That's all we got going for us. Well, we have our first signs of pit stops. Our first taker is Caleb in the 35. Now, is this early? I wouldn't think so. Again, not a very good way to try and view damage there. I don't think I saw any. But there we go, and we'll know here very, very soon if he is joined by anybody else in the coming laps. Yeah, like we were saying, I think around 60 laps is kind of when you would start to think about it. Nobody else has dove down yet. But that doesn't mean that it was off sequence. Might just be trying to get a little bit of a jump, want some fresh tires. We shall see. Although it looks like the entire field's gonna pass the pit entry and nobody else dives down, so I do worry that perhaps there was something. Caleb actually lost time to... Let's see here. TB&R cars. So for the 89, that is quite troubling with how long this race is. That he already had to use a faster pair here today. There are two that were given. And the 89 and the 0 at least are the only cars that have had to use one so far. So be on your best behavior from this point forward. Now, for the 35, we could also talk about this, because, you know, the AI does mix up some strategies, things like that. Perhaps he's just trying to get those fresher tires here now, and maybe he'll just have a run at the stage win. I guess we'll know when 100 laps are up. He doesn't look totally faster than the 06. And there we go, from the lead, actually. It's LW right to the pit lane, and he's got some takers behind him. So I think Caleb was just getting the jump on everybody else. Tough to tell. I didn't get a notification that he crashed or anything. Frankie Muniz inherits the lead after the LW right pit stop. And Muniz looks like he's coming this time. So here's Muniz. Smee will go on by. Looks like a lot of cars came last time around. Looks like Tony Kanaan is going to lead the pack of the group that stays out yet another lap. And would you look at that, it's lap 66. So maybe we're all pretty damn close. So now we just wait for everything to cycle. Kanaan making the move to come this time. The 28, possibly as well. The 11 will dive it down. Just trying to see if there's anybody that is going to stay out. Not yet. Yo Gamer, Ash, Steve Kuzmic, all to the pit lane. So once they really started rolling, pit stops really within a couple laps. So LW right here in just a few moments is going to take the lead right back. But how big of a lead does he have over everybody else? About a 3-second lead over Frankie Muniz. In fact, just over 3 seconds. This 34 car, I don't know if he nailed his stop, maybe pitting with nobody else around him. It's interesting, we don't often see the leader to be the first one to make a move. Can we also say this might be one of our first onboards with LW all year? Oh, as soon as we switched cams, just saw Brayton Laster in the wall. And what the fuck is my pit strategy? Because I am 30th. Goodness gracious. Ash just in front of us here. 46. Back of the pack as well. And you wonder if we do stay green the rest of the way. I don't know if we just heard Ash scrape the wall or what that was. You might worry about going a lap down. Feels like a good time to mention that we do have 4 debris cautions available for redemption here today. Cutoff, I believe I set at 10 laps to go. Now, I don't think in the long run this is going to work out for the 89 of TVNR cars, but he is currently sitting top 10 despite an early pit stop, and I think the reason for that is he just hasn't had to come down yet. He came down the pit lane on lap 32. So, yeah, I mean, that'd be really pushing it from what we've seen, as we do see Smee go back down to the pit lane, so he'll fall back down those multiple laps that he was. Because right now, all the 89 would need is just the yellow flag. His race is quite possibly reset. Come down the pit lane, stay on the lead lap, start at the back, but it'd be a whole lot better than what he started out with. Laid down to 2.3 seconds for LW Wright. Frankie Muniz making up some ground. Early leader of the race, Haley Deegan, 3 seconds back. And now also, let's talk about our 6th place car. Just dropped to 7th, passed by Joe Nemechek. Caleb's strategy, I think that worked out quite well. Pitted early, couple laps early, all by himself. Now, he doesn't have as fresh of tires, couple laps of tire degradation more than the rest of the field. But he can certainly make it to the end of stage 1. Although, I don't know, that car just looks real slow right now. However, this 00 did just come down the pit lane, so he does have a good bit fresher tires than 35 does. This race was a 6:30 start. Already kind of at golden hour here. I would believe at least half of this race will be ran in the dark. Be interesting to see just if anybody is willing to help out the 89. He is about to lose even more spots. Do you save those debris cautions for your own use and not worry about him, given that he did just win Indy? But Pat and Tony Kanaan should be able to make it around. Pat even with the 89 car, not able to pass as of yet. Don't suck, you. Yeah, and you did gain a good chunk of spots during the pit cycle. You're up 9 spots from the start of this race, sitting 22nd. Lucas was another one that had a good showing at Indy, but some interesting strategy took away any shot he had of winning that race. Good chunk of the way into the first stage of the Coca-Cola 600. We'll go right around with your leader. Whoops, that's not your leader. Your leader by 1.7 seconds. LW right. Yellow flag is out, and it is me somewhere on the racetrack. So what in the world happened to me? Appears to be a single car incident. What the fuck did I do? Oh no! Jordan clobbered me! Oh my goodness, what was the 43 doing? Coming across the line here, we got the run, we're already there, and she just clears herself right into me. I'd take a pretty good swipe of the wall. And this from the in-car of the 43. Probably see the wheel just straighten out. She just didn't know that there was anybody out there, I guess. Continues on, going strong. I don't know. Let's try and take a look. Yeah, that car did take a little bit of damage. Well, my chances to repeat as Coca-Cola 600 winner take a hit because my girlfriend cleared herself and doored me into the wall. Them's the breaks sometimes. But we're all packed up again. LW right, Frankie Muniz. Caution, perhaps at a good time for LW. If Muniz was catching him, and was certainly going to pass him the way that he was closing in. Right, Muniz, Pastrana, Marlin, and Nemechek, all real drivers. You're in your top 5. Highest placing chatter, Pat, currently in 6th. as we will have just 13 laps to go in the opening stage of the Coca-Cola 600. Oh my goodness, Pat! Uh-oh! Do we have damage? Let's check while we can. I don't see any. I think this is just a really, really poorly timed pit stop when you had the chance to do it under yellow. I don't know if I'll ever understand that. That's ridiculous. Check too. Some bizarre strategies being thrown out here. Let's check in on the 87. It's usually that right front. And no, I don't see any damage on that car either. We've just got some absolutely miserable pit strategies out here. Closing in on the end of the first stage. Certainly past golden hour all of a sudden. As we head further towards sunset. I mean, I suppose the sun is setting. But they'll be right. Just 6 laps away from a stage win here at Charlotte. Another pit stop. John Force diving it in. And these cars that are doing this, I mean, they've got to be going a lap down, right? Wait for the ticker to cycle through. Yeah, I mean, Pat, Joe Nemechek, they've both gone 1 lap down. Force will do the same. I am struggling to see the logic in it. Battle could heat up, though, for the stage win here if Pastrana and Muniz do not fight as much as they currently are. Pastrana is on a run less than half a second back of LW Wright. 3-time NASCAR Chat Series winner, Travis Pastrana. In fact, won the last 2 races of our inaugural season last year. The debacle at Bristol, and then winning the finale at Talladega as Pat won the title. Well, they were making some good time. Now right back up to a 0.6 of a second lead. Another pit stop just before the stage break. It's Ken Schrader. A move from Sterling Marlin for 3rd. And Muniz has been up front for so long. Surprised to see anybody try to get around him. Gundy also. Oh, we got another chatter that is pitted here. So I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. I don't think it does. But with this battle for second heating up, I think Marlin just kissed the wall. I certainly think that we are headed towards an L.W. Wright stage win here at Charlotte. One to go in the opening stage. Ever since he got around Hailie Deegan for the top spot, LW has just been pacing the field. And he'll come through 3 and 4, and as long as he doesn't head on into the pit lane, LW Wright is going to go ahead and win stage 1. First career NASCAR Chat Series stage win for LW. Top 10 is as follows. LW Wright, Travis Pastrana, Sterling Marlin, Frankie Muniz, Miss Airy picking up solid stage points. B. Dollarsign, hey, how about it? Comes home with a 6th place finish in stage 1. Red Wing 7th, Hailie Deegan 8th. Oraman stage points as well in 9th. And Tony Kanaan in 10th. Their car might be finding just a little bit of speed here. Also, somewhat fortunate with some rather bizarre strategies that have been thrown out there. Namely, Pat, Joe Nemechek, and Gundy. And John Force, Ken Schrader included in that too. Yeah, sure, I'll just go 1 or 2 laps down for a pit stop when I don't think I needed to. And then there's me, who, well, got taken out for our first yellow flag of the day. As LW Wright continues to lead. Sterling Marlin closing in. But about half a second back is about all we've really seen anybody be able to get to LW. A couple people have been close. Pastrana was, Muniz was at one point. Before the yellow flag flew, I thought Frankie Muniz was probably going to pass LW. And I'll tell you what, after this race, I think we might have a new leader in laps led. Now, it still could be somebody other than LW Wright, but he has been out front for a good while now. Deegan also leading solid laps today. Jordo to the pit lane. Let's take a look. Any damage on the front of this car? Oh, there is actually. Yes. Whoops. Yeah, she's hit something. That damage, there was no right side or left side contact when the 43 was hitting me into the wall. So, yes, this is new. Getting fuel and tires as well before she's back out. Karma, perhaps? Unscheduled green flag pit stops are going to be killer today. We've already seen it. He did! He did! Now, he had scored stage points before. Aiden is still looking for his first stage points. Look at Evo! Let's go take a look. He's in the top 10. This 24 car's on a mission. At least somebody's finding speed. Somebody's working their way up to try and challenge the absolute stranglehold that the real drivers have on us right now. Believe it or not, your highest placing chatter is dollar sign. Red Wing's been up front much of the day. That's your pole sitter. But Wright, Marlin, Pastrana, Muniz, and Deegan still holding on strong. And then you also got Tony Kanaan up there inside the top 10. And again, man, what luck for the 89. Had the early damage and an early unscheduled stop. But that yellow flew before he had to come down the pit lane. So he's able to stay on the lead lap and is taking full advantage of it right now. Evo's looking to get around him, but holding on to a top 10 spot. A little bit of a bobble in the corner. 24 not able to clear the 89 just yet. Oh, we lost a whole bunch of ground. Much better run out of 4 for TB on our cars. Some days you got the luck. And once again, even though we weren't able to see it, the 89 has it today. Indy 500 winner a couple hours ago. W. Wright leading still. It's about to be a battle for second place, it looks like. As Haley Deegan has made it around Travis Pastrana. And then Muniz joining in that group. Deegan with a dive. The 40 should have the run out of 4 here to maintain that spot. This is all LW Wright wants to see. See, these two battle. Should allow him to pull away even more. And he had built a pretty good lead in the green flag portion of stage 1, the long green flag run. Just take a look as to when we might be expecting some pit stops. Honestly, very soon for your leader, LW. Deegan came down for new tires and fuel under the yellow flag. So for a moment, as long as Wright has to pit under green, Deegan is going to be inheriting the lead here. She pitted on lap 85 under the yellow. In fact, a good chunk of these cars that are up front right now have stayed out since that green flag pit stop. Wright, Marlin, Pastrana, Muniz. You kind of got to go back a ways to find the lap 85 caution pitters. Well, and with those fresher tires, not surprising to see Hailie Deegan battling for the lead with LW Wright yet again. It was Wright that took the lead over from the 38 car. They're two fastest on track here in this race today. But I mean, credit to the 34, man. He's kept it out front the whole time. Oh, yellow flag is out. Somewhere on the racetrack, it's me. Well, let's take a look. What happens to the 0-0 here? Oh! Contact with Lucas into the wall. Oh, Dale Jr., Squid. Ash gets a piece. Oh, my goodness. I got a piece of that? What the fuck? I only saw that 2 cars crashed. Well, right along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. here. Smee all the way up at the exit of 4 here. And I don't know what Junior's thinking. Pretty good contact in the front and the rear for Ash. And I think that was me that came across and just clobbered Junior again. Well, I know I got a piece of this. This wreck happened so far in front of me. It has already happened. And then was there any avoiding this? Oh, Junior just kind of... Junior was still kind of moving around. And yeah, that's going to be some pretty decent right front damage there. And that's going to be my second faster pair already used. I was at least able to get to the pit lane this time. Well, the Coca-Cola 600 about ready to restart after our second yellow flag of the day. Good chunk of those lap 85 pitters still out here. And believe it or not, Sterling Marlin, who is on the outside of the front row to restart, last pitted on lap 64. I have no idea what his plan is to not lose a lap when he has to come down probably in a few laps. Do not understand it. Hailie Deegan leads us back to green from Charlotte. I did think I saw the 24 up in the wall a little bit, but just a little scrape. Don't think there's enough damage to try and come down pit road here. 45 with a kiss as well. Look at the run, the 47, guys. This is madness back here. Feels like disaster waiting to happen as Squid has pitted again. Well, this is an interesting decision. Oh. Oh, look at that back there. Hailie Deegan trying to run away. Oh, Lucas in the 24. So close to a disaster there. We really got to get this pack separated here. Oh, the 32. That was bold. This is just a nightmare. From Marlin on back, it is chaos. Evo kissing the wall again. Still not one that looks concerning. But Jesus Christ. Yeah, get to the bottom. Maybe that's a better call. Oh, or just run the high side again. I mean, we'll be lucky if this keeps up, that we don't have a massive pileup on our hands. Here on lap 131. Squid was in the pits for a long time. Wonder if he's already burned through the faster pairs. Watch out for the 4! That was a pretty decent lick into the wall. Yes, Evo, stay down there. Stay down there, please. Well, this is where the fun is on track right now. We are starting to thin out a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. Oh, up into the 45. I mean, how much longer can we go like this? Laster's stuck 3 wide in the middle. The back of the pack just cannot sort it out. When did you last pit? Lap 85, the first yellow. Oh, I thought we had lost somebody back there. That's just Squid coming out of the pits. Insanity has struck. I did see somebody come down the pit lane. It was probably Sterling Marlin, and it was. Oh, another car in the wall. Watch out here. Stack up. We stay green for the moment, as I think it might have been the 4 of Aura Man with problems, and it was. Now, maybe this is a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because it'll thin out this pack a little bit. Unfortunate for the 4 car. He's going to come down with pretty significant right side damage. Back up with this group, and man, oh man, did we need that. It's still a little chaotic, but nowhere near as bad as it was. And while we were watching that, with fresh tires, LW Wright back up to the front. Travis Pastrana's made it around Hailie Deegan. Deegan and Kanan are still lap 85 pitters, and you're seeing the speed difference now, and you gotta imagine that contributed. You had faster cars in behind some slower cars. Absolute insanity. I don't know if you do, because I don't really know. I would assume your car would come down pit lane, but I figured everybody would have came down. Aura Man, faster pair used. He's back out on track. Luckily for him, able to get back to the pit lane. You don't want to get towed. Good chunk of cars a lap down. The ones that are multiple laps down are the ones that had incidents primarily. And yes, you are last on the lead lap at the moment, but again, very, very lucky to have gotten out of that with just a scrape or two. That was... I mean, you just knew that eventually something bad was going to happen to somebody, and wound up being the 4 car. Just a debacle. Speaking of a debacle, Evo's current pace. He did probably use up what little life was left in those tires in that hornet's nest off the restart, though. Can't say I'm too surprised. Uh-oh. There she is. Our first debris yellow. 3 remain. So about ready to restart the Coca-Cola 600. We just about had the weirdest restart you've ever seen. But it's like the game meant to wave Muniz around and then didn't. I have no idea. It's like the game waited too long. But anyway, we do have a double file restart after our first debris yellow flag of the day. LW Wright has been the dominant car all throughout. 146 laps at Charlotte. Haley Deegan's had some good luck. But Lucas, first off of pit road, up into second place. Got teammates back there in row 3. El Jefe, NB $, and Ash has cracked the top 10 for the first time today. As we head back to green in the Coca-Cola 600. We will have 54 to go in stage 2. Now, in the case of LW Wright, I have no idea where he's getting this speed from. Now, granted, he didn't pit that long ago, lap 124, but so many cars pitted under the yellow flag, just a couple that were sitting around in the back decided to stay out. And then, yet again, even though we have pretty even pit cycles right now with all of this, you still worry about this pack because we've seen it happen multiple times. But even already, we're more spread out than we have been in the past. Pastrana up there almost kissed the wall. So I feel like the focus should very much still be back in the pack because this is where it gets terrifying. And even further back now. Yeah, I feel better about it. It's nowhere near as stupid as the previous restart was. Doesn't mean it's going to stay like that. Nobody kissing the wall that time, but man, you really need to see some separation in the pack before you feel comfortable leaving everybody to their own devices back here. We're having a pretty decent run there for a moment, and it's just all for naught right now. Showed that the speed's there in the car. That was the 17 that stacked everybody up. The 87 just kissed the wall. And this is why, off of these restarts, this is where we need to be. Marlin is going to put the 87 in the wall. Hard, and the wall goes to 5. Problems here for Pat! Into the wall again! The caution has not waved. Goodness! Oh, the 3 hit the wall real good. So did the 5 car. What's the damage looking like on Pat? not coming down the pit lane yet. Well, that's certainly not ideal, and the debris yellow will come out for the second time. Well, debris caution number 2 has been used. Pat trying his best to save himself. He restarts, actually, as the first car 1 lap down. As we do have a lead change, as L.W. Wright finally made the decision to come down, pit for ever so slightly fresher tires. So Tony Kanaan inherits the lead. Lucas will restart on his outside. El Jefe running up front again. TBNR cars again bailed out by an early yellow flag on lap 84. Up front, looking to win both the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 in the same day as we restart for the 4th time. Well, it looks like we've already built up a decent amount of separation. And speaking of separating yourself, Tony Kanaan out to a 1-second lead over Lucas right now. Tony Kanaan, of course, Indy 500 champion, IndyCar Series champion as well. Looking to add the other half of the Memorial Day double to his resume. 7-Eleven cars just always look good, don't they? But for second place, Hailie Deegan just getting around Lucas. As that 38 car just will not go away. We've got Caleb up front in 5th spot now. As this most recent yellow has kind of flipped the field on its head a little bit. You know, you still have Kanaan and Deegan up there. Pastrana's still inside the top 10, but a good performance from Chad all of a sudden. As we close in on the halfway point of the Coca-Cola 600. The female drivers are all top 10. It's close. Yep. Miss Airy just back there. Deegan's up here. Well, Jordo's not up here. Jordo's got problems. Oh, she was. Ash, strong run. Looking to get around Caleb for 6th place. She'll have the inside to do so. Not yet. Well, Jefe kissed the wall a little bit, but nothing to be too concerned about. Just a tiny little scrape. Ooh, 89 got way squirrely. In the middle of 1 and 2, that was no good. 56 up the racetrack. Probably smacking the wall out of turn 2 that time. A long green flag run here would be greatly appreciated, given how long this race is already, and only slowing it down during these yellow flags. It's gonna be unfortunate, but I'm sure we're not done. With incidents with debris yellows, I'm sure we'll use them all today. In fact, we're already halfway through the debris yellows, less than halfway through the race. Yeah, green flag running would certainly be nice. I think everybody can agree on that. And especially Evo, who's found his pace again. He's cracked the top 10, 32, doing Lord knows what. Maybe Evo's just got a long run car. LW Wright is making up some ground, but not a ton. Back just a few spots. Currently sitting 12th. In fact, he's actually right behind Evo here. As Wright. It's just inevitable here today. What a run for LW. The field is as we left it. Tony Kanaan, Haley Deegan. Pat running third in this line, but not for position right now, unfortunately. But I think he is showing that 3 car's got some speed. If he can get back on the lead lap, I would assume he is still the first car 1 lap down. And he is in a group of 3 cars that are just 1 solo lap down. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who had the hard crash earlier, and Jordo, who, well, killed my day. Yeah, 3's got speed. That is for sure. Haley Deegan, whether she likes it or not, lets Pat by. 27 laps to go here in this stage. Or if you're Pat, I suppose you could just unlap yourself the hard way. He's certainly on track to do that right now. Shouldn't really be nearing pit stops for the rest of the field. Those lap 142 pitters. In theory, we can make it to the end of stage 2 before they all have to come back down pit road. It's really the lap 142 and the lap 151 group. There's a couple stray 153, 154 guys. Yeah, I mean, just stay in front of the 11. As the stage progresses, you're in it. You're back in this race. Bailed out from that iffy strategy. But that also... Let's take a look at when Pat last pitted. Lap 141. So can he make it? Yes. But he's already short pitted once, and that's why he's in the spot that he's in. Now, we do have to remember that there is no stage break caution, so he would need one, the old-fashioned way. Now, fuel wouldn't necessarily be a concern with all the stage yellow, or the caution laps no. But, then again, we've already seen it. I mean, I think when he came down the pit lane, I think he had only run about 30 laps. It was a big surprise to see that. Fully under the lights here at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. Very nearly halfway through. The 35 has headed to the pit lane here. Do we have damage? Yes, we do. Oh, unfortunate for him. He's running a good race. Still a chance, though. Long way to go. And you already see Pat battling after some mistakes, so we'll see how it goes. And Pat has unlapped himself. He finally was able to get around the 11 of Tony Kanaan. Hey, props to the 8 crew, by the way. Reattaching that hood, great work out of these guys. So right now with Pat, where he is, unlapped himself organically, got around Tony Kanaan. Dale Earnhardt Jr. holds the free pass spot with Jordo roughly a second back. Squid powering around on the outside. Evo was up there as well. I don't know if they wanted to be up there, but they were. Squid's got the speed. Unfortunately, his day has just been derailed so much by the earlier incident. Not likely to come back from that. But for guys like Junior, Pat, Jordo, the chance is still there as Junior and Squid got together. That was odd. We have just 8 laps to go here in the opening stage. Rather, the second stage of the Coca-Cola 600. LW Wright remains inevitable. He is climbing his way back up the field, looking to score solid stage points. Not able to get around Ash or Miss Airy quite yet. And I feel like the 4 of Oraman is just kind of getting in the way here. Oh boy! The 32 and the 46 got together again. Not the first time this year. But they got away clean with that, and the 32 loses a spot. Still, what a run for B $, and one that is badly, badly needed. Can't be throwing it away, getting into near wrecks like that, though. The thing is with the 32 in its season, it really has just never even been up front. Down to 9th for the moment. Sean Force is, I believe, 2 laps down on the inside there. Yep. Second car, 2 laps down. Orman being the first. 2.7 second lead for Tony Kanaan. He's led every lap since the most recent restart, and he's also up 29 places from the start of this race. It's one hell of a run for Kanaan, as we're starting to see a little bit more of what we've seen on, through a lot of this race. Kanaan, Deegan, Pastrana, your top 3. And I'm still not so certain that anybody's going to be able to stop LW Wright today. That car just seems to have a nose for the front. An unusual nose for the front, at least inside the top 10 right now, is Austin in the 19. Now remember, he had a good run in the Coke 600 last year. Me, him, and Ash battled that out. I know now, most of you didn't see that part, because again, remember when we did this race last year, was right after the TikTok ban, which also banned CapCut, which is the software that I use to edit these streams for YouTube. So I had downloaded a VPN to try and, oh boy, to try and use CapCut. Well, unfortunately, I started a stream not realizing that I was streaming in, I don't even fucking know, Great Britain, some shit like that. Front of the field all by himself. Tony Kanaan will take the 1 to go. Here in stage 2, much longer stage than the first one, given all the yellow flags that we had. Kanaan's built a 3-second lead. Pastrana just took second away from Haley Deegan. And down the back. It's going to be a good long while before these stage results go final. But through 3 and 4, You could call him the dominant car of Stage 2. After L.W. Wright pitted, Tony Kanaan will win it. So we'll wait for these stage results to go final. They might be final now. We'll wait a second just to be sure, but yeah, I don't see any more shuffling. So Tony Kanaan is your stage winner. Travis Pastrana gets second place stage points. Haley Deegan third. L.W. Wright. He's on a mission today. Up to fourth. Luke is fifth. Ash picking up solid stage points in sixth. Something that card rarely does, so good to see. Miss Airy seventh. Austin stage points in eighth. Dollar Sign ninth. Finished in the top 10 in each of the first two stages, and El Jefe in 10th. Well, while we were away, the pit stop cycle that we thought was going to be right around the end of stage 2 has commenced. Travis Pastrana inherited the lead, but he and Hailie Deegan will come down the pit lane, which turns it back over to L.W. Wright. Out in front yet again. So no, we don't do stage cautions, and the reason why is kind of just goofy. So, we use the Auto Stages app that is supposed to call those cautions for you. For whatever reason, it just doesn't for me. I don't know why. That's what the app is designed to do, to just act and serve as your scoring of stage points and all that. And, yeah, again, for whatever reason, it just doesn't call them. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. L.W. Wright with a lead over Austin currently. We should be left with just... Well, we are not entirely left with just lap 154 pitters. There are a couple stray 142 pitters out there still. But the difference in strategies between Wright and the rest of the cars that have already come down pit road is not that great. I do wonder, in the case of Pat, now maybe it'll cycle back around here when Wright does have to pit in a few laps or so. I wonder if Pat is going to wind up being okay when it's all said and done. I'll tell you what, this would be the worst possible time for a yellow flag. We have 5 cars on the lead lap right now. Now, in theory, all those cars would get waved around under the next yellow flag. But we hope to not have to worry about that. So this is an AI series. Members of chat that wanted a car are in a car. But since we don't have a full field of chatters, we do have a few real drivers out there. And once again, if you can call a guy like L.W. Wright a real driver. But I think we have something like 22 or 23 chat cars. And then, I think we were at... I don't even remember anymore. We set the field so long ago that it's tough to say. L.W. Wright continues to lead. Austin a good chunk of the way back in the 19 car. What's an unusually good run for him, a guy that does take pride in attempting to be last. But then again, given that it is an AI series, it's tough to control. Has not won a chat series race, but again came very close in this race last year. So if we do a little quick math, those lap 154 pitters, of which there are a good chunk, they should have to come down just about any time now. Travis Pastrana charging hard. If he gets around the 19, it would not be for position, not yet. I can't help but think, by the way, that I think the group that just pitted is probably on a better strategy than the rest of them. I really don't know how well it's going to work out. Coming down to the pit lane is, well, we haven't talked about this guy very much today. Me! Race derailed very early on. Do I have damage again? I do have some front end damage. Gonna be interested to see if the crew wants to fix that. I certainly hope not, because I'm almost positive I burned through both faster pairs. Please just leave that. I need you to leave that damage on the car so badly. Otherwise, I will finish last in this thing. LW Wright with a growing lead on Austin, Frankie Muniz, Aiden, Gundy. Tony Kanaan has unlapped himself the hard way right before LW comes down. John Force will join him. Austin, Dale Jr., Sterling Marlin also coming to the pits. Squid in behind, Jordo. Gundy, I think, as well. So turn the race lead over to Frankie Muniz. Now, it's not going to last because, again, some iffy strategy. Kind of got screwed on the lap 84 yellow flag. Does he make the move this time? Yes, he does. 34 with some rear end damage as well. So now we wait. But Tony Kanaan is going to cycle back to the lead of the Coca-Cola 600. Unsurprisingly so. Now, we did lose a little bit of that lead during the pit cycle. Or I guess maybe we should wait until the intervals truly reset here. Kanaan is your leader. Pastrana, 3.4 seconds back. Pat Isted, I mean, the speed that that car has is ridiculous because he has unlapped himself in all of this time. He's unlapped himself and is actually running decently quick now on the lead lap inside the top 10. Like, what? What a run from the 3. Last pitted on lap 207, so a little bit out of line with everybody else. And yeah, Evo back in the top 10. Very, very nice. Haven't talked about Ash a whole lot today, but running solid. Top 5 right now. Trying to run down Lucas for 4th place. Nah, we're bucking that trend today. Nothing bad is happening to Ash today. Top 10 finish at Indy. Despite how weird Indy went. Currently running 5th right now. I just can't get over talking about this 3 car and what it is doing. Somebody better put a stop to what Pat's been able to do. He has got LW right levels of speed from a lap down past Tony Kanaan in this current green flag run. And now he is 9 seconds back of Kanaan for the race lead. What are we doing? Goodness gracious here. That's just insanity to me. Well, second place right now, Travis Pastrana. Been up front much of the day with Hailie Deegan. A gap between him and his Toyota teammate in Tony Kanaan just kind of stabilizing right around 3 seconds. Pastrana's dug into it just a little bit here. Every lap or so seems to be able to make something happen. Claw back a little bit closer. Your all-time winner in NASCAR Chat Series wins, looking to add a 4th victory. And of course, it would be one of the non-chat cars that is your all-time wins leader. I'm still amazed. Now, granted, there were, a few cars that we had in the field last year. Last year was a little bit more of a revolving door of who was in the field or not. But I think we only have in, I don't even know how many races we've done. I guess 11 last year. This is our 5th points-paying race this year. The fact that anybody's won multiple races is insane. We have 3 multi-time winners. Pastrana, Jordo, and unfortunately, 3rd place right behind Pastrana here, Hailie Deegan. Who obviously, not counting the All-Star race for Deegan, is trying to win 3 points races in a row. Nürburgring, Talladega, had the All-Star race last week, and then now here. And the fact that she's up here with a chance to do it. Insanity, it's gross. I was already thinking about pit stops again. We aren't really that close for anybody. By far the longest green flag run here at Charlotte. So I don't even know when the last caution was. It was the, I think it was a debris yellow. It might have been Pat's debris yellow to save himself. Well, speaking of pit stops, we do have somebody in the pit lane. Is it for damage? I would say so for the 14 of D. Kuzmic. See if that car just pops back into shape or if he's burned through his fast repairs. Or maybe they just leave it. I guess time will tell. Interesting. I-14 car is still in there. So I do worry that we may have finally ran into somebody that has used them up. And a little over halfway through this race, that is bad, bad news. Pat has cracked the top 5, 7 seconds off of Tony Kanaan. I think we gotta really dig deep here, as he's about to head into 4th, and for the moment, edges ahead. Pat, you got nitrous in that thing? Because what the fuck? We might be witnessing one of the greater runs in this series history with the U.S. Army on board here on Memorial Day weekend. Because what the fuck? I mean, we just don't see it. You know, that's, in a way, partially what the debris cautions are for. It's a chance to save yourself. And albeit you did that, not to get back on the lead lap, though. That's the crazy part. Did it to avoid having to pit under green after rocking the wall pretty good. Now, this isn't a, remember the Will Power situation at Michigan last year? Will Power had some pretty substantial front-end damage. Well, then that car got faster and faster and faster and faster to the point that it won the race. Didn't have any speed prior to that incident. Had all the speed afterwards. But no, you don't have any damage on the car right now. But you are hunting down Hailie Deegan. Looking to crack yourself into third. Tony Kanaan starting to grow that lead just a little bit again. 3.3 seconds over Travis Pastrana. D. Kuzmic, very safe to say he is out of faster pairs. He's still in the pit lane and has actually been passed by Smee for DFL here in this race. I am very much appreciating the long green flag run here, though. This is much needed. What an unfortunate shot, and this wasn't even really intentional that this is. We have the Greg Biffle Memorial on the C post of the 17 here, and the Kyle Busch Memorial sticker on the rear quarter panel. I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to get everybody emotional. But that's just a very sad image. after 6 minutes and 40 seconds in his pit box. The 14 has come back out, and I still don't know if that car is completely fixed. Also to his pit box is Caleb. This appears to be scheduled. I don't see any damage on that car. I suppose for some, we could be headed towards a scheduled pit stop. You are seriously considering it, aren't you? 1.6 seconds back in the drive from hell for this 3-car. Tony Kanaan has dominated ever since L.W. Wright pitted under yellow, surrendering the lead. Caleb back out on track. Scheduled stop for him, it appears. But my God! I mean, we've beaten the point to death, right? That he passed Kanaan to get back on the lead lap. Didn't even need a free pass to do so. And all while under green, he's a second off the lead. They found something with this 3-car in those pit stops. And I mean, got himself a lap down, pitted way, way too early in the midst of a run. And yet, it is just on rails right now. Tony Kanaan certainly feeling the pressure. He's probably led, give or take with some pit cycling, but he's probably led about the last 100 laps of the Coca-Cola 600. And to see that car in his rearview mirror about to pass him has just gotta feel insane. I mean, a short pit for the 3-car. Like I said, I think he was about 30 laps into a run. We've seen 60 plus on these fuel runs. Didn't make sense at the time, didn't see any damage. You thought he screwed himself out of any possible contention for this race. Very much not the case. Unbelievable. What a run. However, I guess let's talk about it here. We've seen plenty of cars be able to run down the leader, get close, usually die off about half a second back. Now, Pat's situation is way different. Usually that run comes from a couple seconds back to all of a sudden getting there. That car very much has speed. And I mean, I think it's just inevitable now. Unless, let's take a look at the last pit laps. Oh boy. Well, okay, so everybody is really kind of nearing their next pit stop. Pat last pitted on lap 207, Kanaan on lap 210. So, not imminently. 3-car did lose a little bit of ground out of turn 4 there, but still close enough. Hey, the Erie Seawolves did it good. Childress? Do you mean Childers or? It's very early. It's very early in that game. I have an odd disdain for Andy Petrie, only because of I never liked him as a commentator. I thought he was, I didn't think he was very good at it. Well, we talked about it. Pat able to get close, but how close will he be able to get? And as he used up whatever stuff he had left, trying to run down Kanaan. Now, I don't necessarily worry about that car's long-term success in this race. Obviously, it has shown tremendous speed here as of late. But, you know, does he have anything left? I mean, he's done all of this more or less in around about a fuel run. Really, 2 fuel runs from the time he had to unlap himself. I do think that that 3 cars moment will come. It just might not be on this run. And everybody closing in. I mean, that 60 lap mark for Pat, about 7 laps away here. And I mean, even to just bump Deegan out of 2nd place where she had been much of this race, it's impressive enough. 39 laps to go in stage number 3. LW Wright, your stage 1 winner. Tony Kanaan, your current leader, and stage 2 winner. Both Ash and Evo looking for solid stage points here. And with how long we've been green, I mean, the field is so spread out. If we stay green all throughout this, there's really not an imminent threat of anybody getting bumped out unless you have a bad pit stop. Still have just those 2 cars that are 1 lap down. If a yellow were to come out, Dale Earnhardt Jr. would get the free pass. Which could start a new recovery drive that we would need to talk about, because, I mean, let's remember what Dale Jr. had to endure. Hood came up, big impact. Got caught up in another wreck. Difference is, I don't know if the 8's got the speed that, say, the 3 does. Yeah, and, well, with Indy and how, you know, that strategy played out, where it was down to about 10 laps to go, and you knew everybody was going to have to pit again. A clean bill of strategy, knowing that you can make it to the end, would certainly be a turn of events. Earnhardt Jr. still rocking a little bit of damage, but not unexpected. Now, this car hasn't been a factor very much today. It is just on the outside of the top 10, right in front of Dale Jr. The very, very pretty 06 car. I was so glad I made the decision to make this scheme metallic. It's a good look. Maybe we just stick Laster in this car the rest of the year. Battle up inside the top 10 that is getting a little bit broken up. Evo and Ash were going back and forth there for 7th place for a moment. And Evo, I'm assuming these guys here, Marlin, Schrader, Nemechek, are on a different strategy. Let's see if we can go down and confirm. I mean, they have fresher tires, but not by a ton. But man, they seem to have found some speed here. As we are on lap 260, nice. Oh, the Coca-Cola, 600. The fuck was that from Ash? Maybe not a bad idea to let those two by. Even though they're not factors in this race. Might have better pace than you at the moment. Well, the battle for the lead has not exactly cooled down. Pat is just under a second back. But Hailie Deegan is crawling back into the picture. 1.5 seconds back. Pat still hasn't made the move to the box. Evo said we are past lap 270 now. You can make it a one-stop race from this point forward. Can we also talk about the fact that this is probably our longest green flag run in NASCAR Chat Series history? It is quite refreshing in a way. And there's Pat dropping to the middle of the track. He will, as expected, be making the move to the pit lane this time from second place. TJ coming in as well. That's him in the red and blue Sheets car. Which means the rest of us, well, not including myself, probably gonna be a few laps away. Well, and you also have to think, eventually, whether it be for incident or somebody just wanting a Hail Mary, I would think that this green flag run ends eventually. I don't think we're going green the rest of the way. I would be quite shocked by that. So here in just a few laps, and actually right now, looks like Kanan's gonna come by this time. Not yet. Not yet. Hailie Deegan will inherit the lead. Yeah, he did fall back down a lap. But that would be so rough, man. I think you just gotta appreciate the effort. I don't think we need to do that to him. Deegan gonna drop down. LW Wright, last pitted on lap 221. He might actually be able to stay out and lead for a little bit. Dominant car, the early stages. And with the right strategy, might still be a car that we have to watch as this race goes on. He's another one. And, I mean, I thought what LW did was impressive. You know, drove back through the field, something we don't often see. Gave up the lead, dropped back down to 17th or whatever it was. Still managed a good stage finish in stage 2. That 34 has been fast all day. Ash is pitted, Lucas. Looks like relatively routine stops there. So now essentially we just kind of wait for it to cycle out. I mean, it's Wright and Austin, I think, are the only cars. No, there are more that pitted on lap 221 that are still good to go for a few more laps here. Staying up front all day. Good ways off of LW Wright, but it's 32, man. It's 32. He'll come into the pit lane and get cycled back a little bit. So now LW Wright has an 18-second lead over somebody in the 19 car that is on the same strategy as he is. That just shows you the speed of the 34 today. It's been insane. As we are headed very much for another situation where I think we're going to wind up with, you know, say, 5 cars on the lead lap here not too long from now. And be in, yet again, that really scary situation where a yellow flag would absolutely derail this race if even just one car stayed out. We have 20 to go in stage number 3. How are we doing for time? 3 hours in? You know, honestly, it could be worse. Stage 2 was a slow one. We made up a lot of time, it feels like, here in stage 3. Entering that 60-lap window for the 5 cars yet again that are on this 221 strategy. Wright, Austin, Frankie Muniz, Aiden, and Gundy. And if everybody else is going to be able to make it on one stop from here, then very clearly these cars will. I still think that there might be, if say a yellow falls a certain way, that these cars wind up on the preferred strategy. Obviously not right now, they just get shuffled to the back, but of intrigue, after these pit stops, and by a good margin it seems, Pat has made it around Tony Kanaan. Yeah, Pat is 4 seconds out in front of the 11. And is even gonna, yet again, unlap himself here on LW Wright with the fresher tires. Yep, those cars will be pitting just before. Dale Jr. last pitted on lap 220, as did Jordan. Well, you knew it was coming, and here they come. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Joe Nemechek, LW Wright. I see Oraman back there. Now, Oraman, is that There's something weird going on with him? No. All right. I mean, maybe he was on the same strategy and we just forgot about him because he is multiple laps down. Hard to say. So leading the race, at least for this moment, is Austin in the 19. Now he should be following LW right into the pit lane any moment here. Yeah, barely. he'll likely lose it again. He's going to be off sequence with everybody else out here. I mean, let's be honest, his day is over. Austin looks like he's coming down. He is. Jordo entered the pits as well. Smee and Aiden will follow. So hand the lead over temporarily to Frankie Muniz, who is a lap 222 pitter. Gundy, about 3 seconds back, is a lap 221 pit stop, so really stretching it out here. I don't know for what reason. And here comes Muniz. So we have officially cycled, and oh my god. 8 seconds! Damn near! In front of Tony Kanaan. That is the speed that this car has. A performance of all time. But you gotta finish it off. You gotta hope the chat will let you finish it off. Pata, one-time winner in the NASCAR Chat Series, a pass off turn 4 at the Daytona race last August to deny Evo of his first NASCAR Chat Series win. Also did win the championship for our inaugural season. And this car, this story, this race is so damn good. It's unbelievable. And I mean, to think that, you know, everybody else in the pace that they're running, like, they're relatively close together for how long we've been green. I mean, oh no! No! There was contact with Pat. Is he all right? And the yellow flag comes out. Now the 3 car looks to be okay, but the 45 hit the wall hard. Our first yellow flag in a hot minute. It's the 45 and Pat the leader. And that angle, well, it doesn't really tell us much of anything. Pat said it looked like the 45 came down into him. Let's see if that's the case. Absolutely. And now let's check on that right front. Oh yeah, he's fine. Doesn't even look like it took a scrape. So the 45 wrecks himself from the rear view cam of the 45 car. And I don't even, it's not even like he got loose. He just came down on the leader. Well, after the 45 did what he did, about ready to restart after our most recent yellow flag. We'll have just 4 laps to go in the stage when we do take the green flag. With the speed that 3 car has, it's tough to imagine anybody passing him. But this is also the most tightly packed together the field has been in a long, long time. So who knows? Can anybody stun us all? Pace car to the pit lane. 4 to go in the stage. Pat and Tony Kanaan will lead the field back to green with massive stage points on the line. Well, with just 3 laps to go in the stage, Pat has built himself a decent lead here at the start of it. And seeing those 2 Toyotas, Pastrana and Deegan, side by side, that'll help out his case. Evo gets around LW right, and you always worry about these restarts. You pack everybody back up together. Seems like a good time to remind you that there are no stage breaks. We'll stay green, as we've done throughout the Coca-Cola 600 and all year. But a fresh restart. Pat not really pulling away. He's got half a second on Pastrana. Nowhere near the speed that car showed to be able to unlap himself and gap Tony Kanaan by 8 seconds. 1 to go in stage number 3. Pastrana having a run, but I certainly do not think that he's gonna have enough. Evo's up into 4th place. Oh, there's a crash behind! Stage 3 ends with a yellow flag that the sim certainly didn't like. It lagged there for a moment. I don't know why Lucas has made his way around. Gonna be interested to see what the sim says in terms of the results of this stage. So Auto Stages is going to get it wrong. We're going to have to freeze that on the replay at the time of the yellow. For whatever reason, Lucas made the pass and technically won Stage 3, but no, that's not how it goes. Your Stage 3 winner very much is the 3 car. This is usually where I'd run down the stage results for you, but given that the 10 did what he did, I really don't know. So it looks like the yellow flag to end Stage 3 was the 56 of Yo Gamer. He put Gundy up into the wall. Oh, no, it was in front. It was Brayton Laster. That was entirely separate, what happened to the 56. So then what happens with the 06? Another classic case of clearing yourself. Ken Schrader was in behind, and the 06 just pulled right up. The 87 of Joe Nemechek came piling into this. Got into the 25 of Schrader pretty darn good. Looked like the 43 picked up a little damage as well. Well, we have less than 100 laps to go in the Coca-Cola 600. 3 hours, 30 seconds into the actual race here today. So really, that long green flag run saving us a lot of time. I was worried about those debris yellows. Well, now with everybody wrecking, I don't know how likely it is that those get used. Pat's run from hell still has him in the lead. Travis Pastrana on the outside. Jordo going to come back, rejoin the field. 4 laps down. And we know that 43 had already burned through its fast repairs. Pat and Pastrana, Deegan and Evo, Lucas, LW Wright, Ash and B $. Scary to see those two side by side. And Miss Airy and Tony Kanaan, who has just fallen off the face of the earth, will come around to take the green flag and officially start the last stage, if you will, of the Coca-Cola 600. Well, that 3 car's certainly not running away with it like we had seen in the long green flag run. 0.3 of a second in front of Travis Pastrana, and now Pastrana is really, really close here to try and take the lead away from the 3. All the work to get back up here, and he's still got to fight for it. All the fight he's already been through. And it might not matter. Evo's going to get put in a tough spot. All over the place as he was put 3 wide between Deegan and Lucas. Everybody minding themselves for now. Oh, wait, while we were watching that, Travis Pastrana got by. Well, then. Somebody else does have pace today, as the 3 might even lose second here. Evo's still running the high side. Trying to get clear of the 10. I think that's his big problem. Looked like the 28 way back in the pack might have kissed the wall just now. Well, a nightmare for a lot of people. Travis Pastrana, in the later stages of this race now, will try and hunt down win number 4. Everybody good for the moment. Dropping out of the top 10 into 11th place is Ash, but with the situation with that last yellow flag right before the end of stage 3, the top 12 or maybe top 13 now, there's only so far back you can go. Get a pit stop, and then just try and save it, try and bring it home. Pat and Deegan are battling for second place, which might be all Travis Pastrana needs to see to try and pull away. Evo's dropped some spots back down to 7th. Deegan looks to have completed the pass. And yes, so these 2 Toyotas that have not been away from the top 5 very much today are now going to duke it out for the lead. And don't forget, by the way, about LW Wright, who just made a pass on Evo for 6th. New leader, Haley Deegan, but here comes everybody else. Pat and Kanan are back in the mix. Deegan pulls away. She got a good run out of turn 2 to even complete that move. Now back for second place. Pat's made it on back by the 67. Still chaos. Really, these top 4 breaking away a little bit, separating themselves. But then 5th on back is a little bit of a madhouse. Unfortunately for Evo, he's in it. Ash is behind it. Miss Aaron right on the outskirts of the top 10. Stuck in that as well. And how about Braden Lester? I mean, shit, he just wrecked. He's sitting 7th. A non-factor much of the day. 24 has mercifully made it to the bottom. That seems to be a preferred spot. However, now 3 wide again. Deegan leads by 0.6 of a second on lap 316. What? But Pat will try and close her in again. Pastrana is about to be in a hornet's nest with Wright. And even Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's not racing for position, but is up here with these lead drivers. Just here to wreck someone's day, I guess. For second place, into turn 3, Kanan. Tries to dive it in on the 3 car of Pat. Not yet. Oh, no! Oh, did he dive it in all right? Oh, big problems. There's no yellow. Tony cannot. Now, I mean, come on. What is the sim doing here? We're bouncing around playing bumper cars. And all of the work for the 3-car. And Tony Kanaan just derailed it. Well, this one stings. We saw it coming. We saw the 11 diving in. Pat comes down a little bit, but the 11 certainly just drives right into him. You know, I just remembered something. And it was so long in between races, and we had the non-points all-star race in between. Hailie Deegan was supposed to forfeit her qualifying position for this race. What do we do about that now? And then in the case of Tony Kanaan, it'd be unprecedented for us to punish an on-track action. It is usually reserved for just those pit road violations, those blatant dumbs, but I don't know. It is the chat series, after all, I suppose. What's the chat consensus? I know what Evo's is. He's sitting behind these 2 cars. Hey, neither one of them should be up there. But still. What a wild Coca-Cola 600. And we've been online for all of it. Unlike last year. Deegan gets a pass-through. I mean, is that fair? Is this rigging the race a little bit? Maybe it is. Kanaan gets sat. No. I won't DQ him as deserved as it might be. I feel like a pass-through is worse. It was my screw-up at the end of the day. I forgot about it. For the moment, we will head back to green with Hailie Deegan and Tony Kanaan. Not very popular drivers here in this race. .24 of Evo held up by a slow restart from the 67 of Pastrana. He finally got to restart on the bottom. And then this has happened. Man, oh man. Just can't catch a break, can you? Still don't forget about the 34 of LW Wright, who's just been lingering around much of the day. And now Deegan gonna be under pressure from Kanaan. Pastrana just kissed the wall. We had an award for the least popular driver in the chat series. I think you're looking at your 2 front runners right now. Goodness. So now remember, when it came to Talladega and Deegan, we thought that she had caused an incident. Going back to that penalty, caused an incident that just derailed the whole race. It didn't wind up being the case, at least not as bad as what we thought. We thought she had spun the 32 car out on pit road, and then the 32 missed its box, ran out of gas on track. Well, turned out that she spun Ken Schrader. So it was just going to be a forfeiture of qualifying position, which we will have to remember to do next race. Evo clear into 3rd. A little bit, you're not wrong. But then now in the case of Kanaan, I mean, he just tore him. And the 3 car, as far as I know, is still in the pit lane. As is the 06 of Brayton Lester. Not a great view on that here. Oh, Pat! Good timing there on that. Pat is leaving his pit box, but he is going to be well out of contention here today, as there is the 06. Can I have 10 waiver runs? I don't know if it's enough, unfortunately. If it was the All-Star race, I'd think about it. No, we did that. Kanan by a second. And now chat's hopes pretty much rely on Evo in the 24. He got Lucas up here as well. Yo Gamer, but he's already won a crown jewel this year. Maybe we can all get behind the 24 today. No, I'm kind of hoping for you to get your retaliation. 9 laps down is the 3. 25 of Ken Schrader back there, right in behind Evo. That's his teammate. Maybe. I feel like that would be fair. Now for the 24 car here, I feel like he does not want the 25 to be mixed in with him here because he's got bigger problems. He's got to get around the 38, but yet at the same time, he's got to fight off his teammate. Hendrick 24 and 25 in a close battle. Evo with a dive. And both he and Schrader look to get around Deegan. Evo into second. And now he can set his sights on Tony Kanaan. 1.2 seconds up the road, but now that the 24 is free, clawing into that lead of the 11. For what it's worth, Brayton Laster's left the pit lane. He is now DFL. Yo Gamer in the 56 already having a good points here. This would be a pretty big day for him, although your points leader heading into this race was Haley Deegan. She's dropped another spot back down into 4th as the 56 is taken 3rd. And through all of this, I mean, we kind of lost where we were with strategy. Tony Kanaan last pitted on lap 301. Evo last pitted on 320. We know damn well that nobody can make it to the end without pitting again. Evo's maybe just pulling his teammate up there to perhaps serve as a pick. If these two were ever able to get around the 11 of Tony Kanaan. Certainly charging their way back up again. And I mean, credit where it's due to the 25. At least for the moment, he hasn't made it around Evo. Now he looks possibly to be trying to set up for it here. Oh, that's Sterling Marlin in the wall. Problems back there. No yellow flag. That would have been a very intriguing yellow because from here, you probably could push it to the end. Let's check back in on Sterling Marlin. Yeah, he's got some pretty substantial damage there on that right side. Bad day gets worse for Marlin. He's sitting back in 23rd. Likely to come down to the pit lane this time. Certainly looks like it. 45 just cut off the 87 too. goodness. Well, all the credit that I gave the 25 car of Ken Schrader pretty well out of this race. He did just pass his teammate. Gordo also entered the pit lane. Wonder if that's damage related. I didn't really see who else might have gotten caught up in that. And if it is the 45 car, that's probably going to be your new DFL right there. It could be. The 25 appears to, at least for the moment, have the speed to perhaps inconvenience Tony Kanaan. Yeah. Well, we'll see if that happens. However, the 56 of YoGamer is clawing in the 24 just a little bit. Not like they were ever really all that separated. Still closing in. These cars are close enough together that a bad pit stop could very much flip them. Haley Deegan's free fall continues. Down into 6th place. Miss Airy continuing her strong run. Not really talked about all that much today. But the 17 has been up front for the vast majority of the day. Which is good to see. Jordan with the pits for a minute 15. Lucas hit the wall back there. I don't know how bad. I don't know if it's going to be worth a pit stop. Looked like he almost kissed the wall again. Turn 2's been a hot spot all day. Good chunk of incidents. Watch out, Caleb. He somehow kept it straight. Oh, I thought he was overcorrecting into the wall. No question. Well, we found out where the action is on track. I mean, there's 8th place back here. Ash is in amongst this mess. So now the biggest recovery drive story of the day is actually the 89 of TBNR Cars, your Indianapolis 500 winner. Damaged very early on in this race. And yet hanging on to a top 10 spot right now. And he benefited from a really, really important yellow. And up at the front of the field, the 56 of YoGamer got by Evo. Schrader has still not caught Kanaan. Kanaan still, I'd say, probably about 20 laps away from trying to make his last pit stop. There is still some chaos that can occur here. We gotta figure out a way, guys, to make sure that Tony Kanaan does not win this race. The problem is, that may hand the race win to a guy like LW Wright. Well, it's surprising to see you this far off the pace. Pitted 26 laps ago. And I don't know if maybe it's just getting swarmed or what it might be. But yeah, Evo back down into 4th place now. I figured somebody had something going. We will not let the 11 car win this race. Did just see Haley Deegan drop it down into the pit lane. Could very well be scheduled. She's been kind of off sequence with a lot of other cars out here today. Now Muniz holding up Yo Gamer a little bit. Drew LW right in a little bit closer. So Deegan gonna fall a good ways behind with this most recent pit stop, but she's one of the first to fully say that she's able to make it to the end. Muniz not for position, looking to the inside of the 56, and this is all that Tony Kanaan wants to see right now. Travis Pastrana has also come down the pit lane. And Lucas. I mean, I guess let's take a look and see if there's anybody that would really be due. I see one lap 288 pitter. That was D. Kuzmic. He's probably coming in any moment. We need a new redemption. Oh, no. Maybe Ken Schrader here can still find a way to force someone to pit. Well, I can't force somebody to make a pit stop. I can send somebody on a pass-through penalty, but... Lucas out of the pits, a 14-second pit stop. 1.5 seconds back is the 56 of Yo Gamer, and look who has gotten back around LW right. Evo still up here with a chance. With John Force, of all people, in tow. His day derailed really, really early. He's the first car 2 laps down. And, of course, Force is going to battle Evo here. So Kanaan is going to be the first one of these focused lead cars to make that pit stop. Curious to see if this strategy is going to work out for Ash to screw up Tony Kanaan's day. Oh, you're getting a run off of somebody. Didn't do anything with it. And here comes LW Wright. Evo going to be clear back into second place. So the hope is still there. And all of a sudden, hey, look at that, 1.3 back. Well, I got a bad run out here too. Here comes the 56 back at him. Nah, didn't like the looks of that. Oh, boy. All right, we need this 24 car to get clear. Because I feel like at this current pace, he might have the speed to just run down Kanaan. And what's going on with Tony Kanaan? Oh! Ken Schrader has put Kanaan in the wall! What a teammate! Now, I don't think it's very substantial damage, but Tony Kanaan is just surrounded here by lapped cars. See if we can take a look at the right front of Kanaan. I don't think he really sustained any damage from that, but it certainly slowed him down. Our Lord and Savior, Ken Schrader. But now that Kenny is clear, Tony Kanaan looking to just continue right back with what he was doing. And Evo's lost, well, he got it back, but battling with LW Wright for that third spot. It'd still be a little bit early. He is about, well, 57 laps in, so it's coming. But not quite there yet. Maybe John Force has something to say to Tony. Frankie Muniz would be a good candidate as well. Even though Muniz is 10th place, 1 lap down. I feel like we'd have a lot more contenders for this race win if everybody had, you know, if that one yellow that trapped a good chunk of the field a lap down hadn't happened. Kanan stretching that lead again. It's not a surprise. Well, Force with a little bit of a move in his direction. 24 is clear into second place. Aiden is the first to pit. Then where does LW Wright stand? He is actually on the same pit lap as Evo, lap 320, for their last pit stop. Short stop for Aiden, 8 seconds. Only needing 40 laps of fuel to make it to the end here. Now what happens if Evo just runs the 11 down organically? Does this plan that Chad have in place, does it still happen? And this could be getting to be timed about perfect because Muniz is starting to gain here on Kanan. Tony Kanan just kind of sandwiched in between those two Fords. Fair. Very fair. Didn't look like Evo had a very good turn 3 and 4 there. LW Wright closing him back in. Have a good 1 and 2, and you can live through it. Miss Harry to the pit lane from 9th. LW Wright closing back in. No change up there with Kanan. Schrader to the pits. And here comes LW looking around the 24. And the way that Evo's running down there, now he does move back up the racetrack. I thought Evo was going to be the first one to pit. That got a little scary. Pit stops are certainly approaching. Muniz drops. 64 laps on this run for Kanan. And he got around Force, which is not what we want to see, and LW Wright is going to get around the 24, at least for the time being. Squid is in his box as well, Austin. This is 64 laps. 65 laps now on fuel for Kanan. You know it is coming. Ash has dropped to the pit lane, as has LW Wright. I'm hoping it works out. It looks like Evo dropped to the middle there. No, don't tell me. No. Oh my goodness. Now maybe this is good. How long is Kanan gonna go? But he really can't go much longer. Tony Kanan is somehow still out here. longer than people who pitted about 20 laps prior. Yeah, and what do you do now? What's your strategy now? I can't think about it. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised he hasn't. This is 67 laps deep now, and he's still not showing any signs of coming in. Which could very well benefit the rest of the field that will be behind him. Kanan's gonna drop to the middle. He's coming this time. And he's made the commitment line. TBNR Cars was also in the pit lane. He is far, far back from everybody else here. And let's see how this cycles around. Because for the moment, LW Wright is going to... I don't know if he's going to inherit the lead. Yellow flag. Oh, no! Maybe? I have no idea. Gundy has crashed on the racetrack. Well, what the fuck happened to the 28? Heading into 3 and 4 here. All right, so it's not in 3 and 4. Oh. No, it was me. Let's just talk this through here. Maybe it wasn't my fault. Oh wait, hey, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. The 28 turned down into my car and wrecked. Well, Chad has spoken, and is it a little bit of race rigging? Possibly. But Tony Kanaan has been given a drive-through penalty after review by race control, which doesn't really exist. So he will restart from the lead, but that doesn't, he will obviously not keep it. Now, I didn't black flag him or, make him sit in his box. It is a drive-through. But I think we may have just handed this right into the hands of LW Wright, who was the quickest car at the start of this race. And here we go. We will have 27 laps to go in the Coca-Cola 600. Almost 4 hours in. We're back to green for what might be the last time. Well, that's a big restart for the 24 of Evo, but LW already gonna dive to his inside. Now, if Kanaan comes down this time, that could screw the 34. And a little bit it did. Kanaan to the pit lane, serving the penalty. Where the fuck did Travis Pastrana just come from? This gained like 4 spots. The 67 is a rocket ship. But now, of course, off of a restart, as it has been much of the day, we gotta be worried about any possible shenanigans here. Evo and Wright will be side by side heading into one. Wright just barely clear. Overdrove the corner a little bit, hand the lead back to the 24. 2-car fight for this win would be cool. Evo driving away with it would be cool. Let's be real. There are still, I do believe, 2 debris cautions to be used, but at this point, does anyone want to use them? Wright drove up the racetrack looking to get a better run down the back. I think that compromised his run a good bit. Well, there should be no reason for you to pit anymore. You pitted on lap 366. As the 24 is trying to peace out. Currently unable to do so, leading by half a second. Can it happen? Will it happen here today? If Evo pits again, yeah, it's just retire. We black flagged the possible best car all day, Tony Kanaan, to set this up. And as deserved as it is, it still feels wrong in a sense. And I'll tell you what. Look at who has just moved into 3rd place. That is the 17 of Miss Airy. We could have the Europeans battling for the win. Up front all day, setting her sights on LW Wright. .21 laps to go from Charlotte. Airy was closing in on Wright a good bit. Now no longer, but Evo's still maintaining that 1 second-ish lead over the 34. Your stage 1 winner here today. And don't forget about Hailie Deegan. Will we regret not sending her down on a drive-through penalty? That's again the reminder. She was supposed to start at the rear of the field today. When our last race was so long ago, I forgot. Maintaining for now. Mostly. It's a good corner for the 24. Trying to stretch that lead even further. Deegan has cleared Miss Airy, as has Yo Gamer in the 56. So many times we have been in a spot where Evo could have gotten this done, and it hasn't happened, and you worry about just what might be the case here today. What could possibly happen to deny it again? Had a race at Daytona, damn near won. Couldn't hold off the run from Pat off of 4. Tony Kanaan from the top rope! But, jinx be damned, I think it just does need... I mean, it's been such a ride. Such a ride to try and see this car win a points race. Winner of 2 of the 4 non-points races we've run. Car's fast, almost always has good runs at super speedways. But just hasn't happened yet. And us, as a whole, as a community, have been waiting. And we just hope that we don't have to wait any longer. That lead stretching now over a second over LW. 15 laps to go, though. A little bit. A little bit. Now, I don't know why. He has won races. but they're all meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Hasn't won a single race that mattered, and he's not even having a bad points year this year. Points are looking relatively okay at this current moment in time, and this could be a real turnaround. By the way, I don't think we have to worry about Tony Kanaan winning this race. He's 26 seconds back, albeit staying on the lead lap. For perhaps the final time, we deviate from the lead. Ash is trying to fight off Lucas to hold on to that 10th place spot. We need to head back to the lead. That lead for the 24 is back under a second. Do not, of all things, of all days, do not let the camera leave this car. Hilarious, because switching to the in-car cam of Evo's Indy 500. No! Oh no! What's the yellow flag for? Oh, there's a big crash somewhere on the racetrack. Oh no. Well, who else but Smee? Smee involved, but who started this? Contact between the 14 and the 06. Back behind him. And just a stack up here. And what winds up happening? Oh, Smee! Caleb turns Smee. I don't know who's at fault, but that's what happened. Oh, God, what is going on between me and Smee? Well, let's take a look. Who done did it? Oh, so I guess it's tough to blame Caleb there. There was a stack up, I believe, caused by the 47 car. It just created that nonsense. Well, we are about 2 minutes shy of 4 hours into the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the year. And we are going to have a shootout here to end it. A race this long is going to come down to 9 laps with everybody bunched up together again. In reality, there are 15 cars on the lead lap all of a sudden. Probably the most we've had in a good bit. Now, Force is the free pass recipient, so he's back behind all of this. Wouldn't consider him to be a factor at all. The top 14, you just never know. And we are all rooting for the 24. But if not the 24, again, yes, at least let the 17 win it. Maybe even the 89. That would be a solid story, too. TBNR cars in here with a chance after winning the Indianapolis 500 earlier today. It's been a long day, but it's very close to being over as we go back to green at Charlotte with just 8 laps to go in the Coca-Cola 600. Miss Airy did get around LW Wright. He's looking to get back by. And that might be all Evo needs to see. Already out to a decent gap here. Wright did make it back by the 17. A little bit of a dive bomb through 3 and 4. But 7/10 out in front. We should do baseball. We should do baseball. It would make my Sunday a whole hell of a lot easier if we did do baseball. Maybe I'll do baseball. I was thinking about halfway through this race and my voice wasn't going to be able to handle it, but at the moment we're okay. 0.6 of a second back. Bad run through 1 and 2 for LW Wright. The longer this goes on and that gap stays just shy of a second, we're feeling pretty good with This 24 just cannot screw it up. Right with a good run out of turn 4. Made up about a tenth of a second there. Putting the pressure on Evo a little bit. But better in 1 and 2 again. Oh, and the wall was Muniz! Oh, we gotta stay green here! I do not want to re-punch up the field. Keep it together, guys! 8 tenths as we take 4 to go. Right on the charge. He's much better in 3 and 4. Tony Kanaan, yes, is 2.5 seconds back. In 7th place. Don't think we have to worry about him winning. 4 laps to go. About to be 3. The lead has stretched to a full second. Jordo leaving the pits after 6 minutes in there. 1.2 seconds in front of LW Wright. Haley Deegan looking to extend her points lead even further. Making a move on Miss Airy. Couldn't make it stick for 3rd place. Now she does. 2 to go. .3 seconds. It would take disaster, which is a terrible thing for me to say, because we said that in the Daytona 500 too. Out of turn 4 and taking the white flag, not for the first time in his NASCAR Chat Series career, is the 24 of Evo. 1.4 seconds out in front. And ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see it. Finally, winner of a Mazda race, winner of 2 non-points races in the NASCAR Chat Series, Evo's gonna come out of 4, and for the first time in a race that matters, he's gonna win it. Evo wins the Coke 600. About damn time for the 24. Maybe it took a little rigging on our part. There's Lucas. Yeah, just speed past again. Yeah, I tell you, tried to steal a stage, but oh, finally. The monkey is off the back. And now maybe, with this win and already having a good year in the points, maybe now the 24 could make a run at a title. Well, I am amazed, in a way, that we even made it through this race after what happened to us in Indy. I was a little terrified, not gonna lie, but we made it through this race. Software, hardware problem free, which is good news because we finally got to see the first real important win for the 24 car here today. Miss Airy just couldn't hang on for that second spot. Could have really made it a European 1-2 in America's portion of the greatest day in racing. But the 24 has finally won a real points-paying race. And I mean, to deny, by the way, LW Wright, who, when we dropped the penalty on Kanaan, it really felt like we were going to hand the win right to him, right? At least that's how it felt. We knew that car had speed. Let's not even totally forget that Tony Kanaan finished 4th here in this race. He certainly made up some time after the last yellow flag. But wow, what a day. A long day. We still have baseball to play. Been here for Lord knows how many hours getting these two races done, but I am glad that we did them on the same day, even as bad as Indy went. Evo is a NASCAR Chat Series winner for the first time. We are, I don't know why, I don't know why I decided I thought it was going to be a good idea to take a look at the schedule right now, but we actually are back in action relatively quickly because our next race is at Michigan, which is in 2 weeks, I want to say. So, yeah, so somewhere like the 6th or the 7th. I think we'll be probably doing the race on the 6th. But we finally saw it. It finally happened. The 24 is victorious. And the NASCAR Chat Series will roll into the Irish Hills of Michigan in just a few weeks.